A lot of it has weakened, some of it has strengthened. There's just a lot to talk about, and it's 12:30, so we should have gotten a new SPC outlook. But first, let's talk about this warning associated with Sumter County. I'm gonna go full screen here. It works, okay. So just zooming in there, this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 1:15. I'm trying to get the information pulled up here. Looks like there could be hazardous winds up to 60 miles per hour. Those are the wind gusts, as well as quarter-size hail associated with it. And just taking a look at the hail size parameter here. Usually on this graphic you would see like an orange dot there on the screen for like a hail core. Not seeing it, but they may be concerned about the wind speed, so, and more than likely the lightning associated with it as well. So obviously if you're outside, you know, you don't want to be out there, but this isn't a system that's you shouldn't be too concerned about it. If I were you, just, you know, kind of stay indoors and let it pass. Once it passes on through, you're able to go outside and enjoy your day, because I think this is probably all you guys are going to see. This is the leading edge of the cold front, and that's the similar case with majority of the rain that we see here. So this system is extending through Sumter County up into Taylor County and Macon County, through Peach, Houston, Macon, Bibb County. You guys are like in that in-between zone. We have some storms, or not really storms, I'll say heavy rain moving into Bolingbroke out of Forsyth. Forsyth, you guys are now in the clear. Lamar County, you're in the clear. So Bibb County, you guys are getting ready to see some heavy rain headed your way. There isn't much lightning associated with it. I'm not too concerned about that either. And then Baldwin County, you guys are still good. You just got out of a pretty, a little bit of a gusty storm there with some lightning moving through. And then we have some heavy rain moving through Sparta, as well as Washington and Hancock County. So that's the big picture of what's going on. The only severe thunderstorm warning, once again, that we have is 2 hours southwest towards Sumter County, Webster County, Schley County area. And that's in effect until 1:15. They have it down for quite some time, which is 1:15. That's about 45-ish minutes away from them. And I'm not even seeing a hail core, so I think they're mostly concerned with the wind speeds that we have here. But let's take a look at the SPC outlook. Let's see if they changed anything. Okay, so they did change something. The SPC outlook, they just updated it as of 12:30. I can check and see when the next outlook is coming up in just a second, but let's talk about what's changed compared to earlier. So earlier, there was a lot of Georgia as a whole that was in the green. It looks like that has decreased. They have dropped that. Let me see if I can grab my pointer here. I can't with this graphic. Okay, so here, let me go full screen. So initially, this green area, the level 1 risk, was a little bit farther up northward, and they're clipping this down, it seems, as the front comes through. Because like I said just a few moments ago, once this system that you saw on the radar moves on through, once you're out of that last little stretch of rain, you guys are in the clear. And there hasn't even been too much severe parameters with this system moving through central Georgia so far. Different story for places to our north and even across the United States. But right now in central Georgia, there's not too much of a concern at the moment. That could change as the system moves into the level 2 zone. We'll see what happens. But again, we want to stay weather aware just in case. We're seeing strong wind gusts throughout central Georgia. I'll touch on that in a second. We can't rule out the possibility for a tornado. Now, as I've said all morning, we're not going to see a lot of actual storms, so the odds are unlikely. But if we do see a strong storm, we will kind of watch out for the spin-up or brief spin-up tornado within it. So that said, we could also see hail associated with those storms as well. Very few storms. We'll watch the storms that we see. For example, the one headed into Dublin and Crisp County. Right now, not seeing any tornado threat there. But we'll watch it to see if anything will spin up. That's what's going on right now. I'm going to zoom back in so you guys can see the screen better. And then before I get into, I want to talk about everything that's going on now before I talk about what's going to happen. So let's look at the wind speeds and gusts. So pretty strong. We're in the red. Gusts up to 23 miles per hour in Macon, 22 in Dublin, 20 in Cordele. These are strong, stronger than normal, but nothing we're not used to, nothing to be really concerned about. You know, make sure you just have both hands on the wheel and you should be good to go. And remember, the yellow number is the gust, the white number is the actual sustained wind speeds. All right, let's look at the future view. This is the graph model. All right, so starting here, this is the afternoon. The graph model has already changed significantly compared to what we were looking at. And it looks like the storms to our west or south and west are going to develop a little bit more as they head eastward. So we're probably going to be tracking this storm in Sumter County for quite some time. We'll see what happens. But of course, we'll watch it with you. And then it looks like it's still planned to be out of here by 4 p.m. All right. And that's it. That's it. I only had to go a few hours out. Tomorrow is nice and clear, sunny even. Go out and enjoy it. If you're traveling early, nice time to do so. Monday, we do have some rain in the forecast, and it has increased. The amount of rain that we were expecting has increased a good little bit. So we'll monitor the severe aspects of that as well. All right, so going back to the radar, and then I'm gonna go to Facebook and see your questions and concerns and comments. So you guys just have something to look at there. Remember, that expires at 1:15. All right, let's see. Okay, so it looks like the stream isn't working on Facebook. A lot of time that's out of our control, but I'll let digital know. If not, this just may not be a situation where we're able to interact with you guys. But if you guys have any major concerns or damaged pictures, which I can imagine there's probably not too much going on across Central Georgia in terms of damage, but if you do have it, go ahead and send it to the 13WMAZ Weather Network Facebook group. You can also watch this live stream on your app. I believe you can watch it on the 13WMAZ Plus app on Amazon Fire Stick and Roku. So there's the mobile app, but you also watch it on 13WMAZ Plus app on your TV, and then you should be able to also watch it on YouTube. But since you guys can't really comment, I am going to just kind of go through the full forecast so I can cover a little bit of everything. So let's see. All right, starting with the sky cam, Macon, got lots of cloud cover overhead. Temperatures are relatively warm. And then the radar, like I said before, we got rain moving in from the northwest. This all is one big cold front, by the way, moving through. And that does mean we're gonna see some cooler air move in as we head into the evening hours and the early morning hours tomorrow morning. But this is the system, and I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you guys can see how somewhat big it is. Not too much really going on with it. Now, as earlier this morning, in northern Georgia towards the Atlanta area, there was a lot more activity going on with this system, more warnings, more flood warnings. We even saw a brief tornado spin up just east of Peachtree City. But since then, it's been relatively low key. We got this big batch or big cluster of storms headed through Peach County, Houston County, and Perry, Warner Robins, coming in through Sumter and Webster and Schley County, headed towards Dooley and Crisp County. But right now, it looks like it's really just pretty strong wind speeds and gusts up to 60 miles per hour, lots of lightning, as well as some pretty heavy rainfall. But nothing compared to what we saw last week, or the beginning of last week, the end of the weekend before that. So. And then headed into Macon, just some heavy rain. Doesn't look like there's even any lightning associated with it. and then moving through Sparta, that is Hancock County, and Washington County. And then once again, we are under a level 2 of 5 on our storm outlook. These levels will drop once this front moves through. So odds are once that one storm or heavy rain shower area move through the area, you will be out of this storm outlook, just FYI. And then in terms of that level 2, you'll probably see some strong wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Can't rule out a brief tornado within the storms that do cross on through. Won't be a lot of storms, but there's one or two out there right now. And then you could see some hail associated with it, which I actually want to go back and see if we are picking up a hail core to our south, because if we aren't, they might drop it. I also want to look at the velocity to see if we're seeing any rotation there. I doubt it, but I'm going to check both parameters just to be sure. Not seeing a hail size or a hail core there, and then just checking the velocity. It is a little bit harder to pick up great velocity signatures in this area. I'm going to let that. Okay, but I will say there is a little bit of rotation going on there. Not to say that there's a tornado on the ground or that there is, it could develop, but it's definitely something we are going to watch as it moves from the west eastward. So if you know anybody in Americus, know anybody in Sumter County, Webster County, Schley County, just, give them a call and say, hey, be severe weather aware, check in and see what's going on there. Make sure they're watching us right now, for example. So we are definitely seeing some sort of rotation there. If it picks up, they might extend the warning. I'm let that play out a little bit more. But one thing I will say, I'm not noticing those bright colors. So wind speeds aren't strong. I'm sorry, wind speeds are strong in that area, but the tornadic, the rotational wind speeds don't seem to be that well. And that's just north of the Preston area. Going back to reflectivity. So recently, I'm going to say this. A lot of people have recently told me that they weren't sure what the gray lights are on the screen. Those are lightning strikes. I just kind of want to make that very clear. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Those are lightning strikes. I know some of you guys are like, oh yeah, I already knew that. But just to let you guys know, a lot of people, I think thought there was something different, but those are lightning strikes on the screen. Our radar can pick up lots of strong lightning strikes, but zooming in a little bit to kind of get in on the areas. And if you see your area, go ahead and take note of what's going on. Looks like we have this relatively strong, stronger than what we're seeing anywhere else, storm moving, coming in from the west, entering the Plains area towards Americas, Andersonville, Leslie, Smithville, all those areas. And we're seeing some purple in there, so some pretty heavy rain coming through. But again, not as much rain as some of our northern counties saw last week. I'm just going to check the velocity with this one more time. So we have different velocity parameters at different angles from our radar, so I'm checking both. And then we're also in an area where there are two radars covering it, so let's see. I'm let that play out. But this is what I'm noticing right here. Let me see. Right there. See this, where the green meets the red? I'm watching this guy. But right now, it doesn't look like there's anything touching the ground. The wind speeds aren't up. Nothing to be concerned about at this moment, but looking ahead, this is something we're going to have to keep our eye on. All right, let's take a look at the future view. I'm gonna keep my eye out on that storm. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. But moving over the next few hours, and I mean up from now up until like 4 o'clock, that's I think all we're going to see for today. But we're not seeing a whole lot of storms even on the future view. We have that one there towards Milledgeville. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. All right, so we have this one here towards Milledgeville, headed eastward. This particular model isn't picking up on too much of anything else until 2 p.m., where those storms that we were kind of seeing now in that area just west of Crisp and Dooley County headed eastward, and it tracks eastward. And once you get into that level 2 zone that I was talking about earlier, because we are under level 2 today for some of our southern counties, it does seem to amplify a little bit. We're going to see if this is correct over the next few hours, but either way it go, by 5, 6 o'clock, we are out of here. Clouds are starting to diminish. We cool off pretty well too overnight, so that's good news to hear. I don't know, for me anyways, I prefer the cooler temperatures than the warmer temperatures. But going back on the full screen there, let's talk about how cool it's going to get over the next few hours and overnight. So this is what we're seeing now, and you can see how the rain is cooling us off in certain spots as well. And then moving eastward, you can literally see that cell. the green down there at the bottom right, just south of Dublin, that's that storm kind of cooling us off a little bit. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to all of this. See the big temperature change, the temperature gradient moving in from the north, dropping to the 40s by 7 a.m. right before sunrise, which is typically the coolest part of the day. And then we warm up as we head towards the afternoon. So I think that's the coolest we see all week. Just take a look at the 7-day real quick. Yeah, that's the coolest we see all week tomorrow morning. So get out there and enjoy it. I mean, lots of sunshine, highs only in the mid-70s, picnic weather. It'll be nice one. And the wind should die down a little bit too. So just taking a look at that. You know, gusts are high right now, but by the time we reach tomorrow around 12 o'clock, they start to get back to normal. So if you have any outdoor events, it is going to be a little bit more gustier in the morning, but nothing out of control. All right, I'm gonna go check on that storm again. Also, I'm going to see what the National Weather Service is saying. It looks like they clipped the warning because it's definitely smaller. Looking at the velocity. Okay. So we're in an area where it's hard to pick up the velocity at the moment. We're going to continue to track it and see what it's up to. That's the rain and thunder. And looking at the velocity one more time. The farther out we go from the radar, the harder it is to see what's going on. But this is what I'm looking at right here. See how it's kind of spinning? It's hard to tell right there. All right. Let's see what the National Weather Service is saying. All right, nothing popping up anything about a tornado, but we're watching it. We're watching it. And that's headed towards Plains, Americas out there in Sumter County and Webster County. Coming in from the west. And again, in that area, gusts could get up to 60 miles per hour. zooming out here, not everybody is seeing rain right now, but I do want to sort of mention some of our other counties. For example, Macon County, it looks like the entire county is engulfed in some heavy rain. It's got some lightning out there, so don't want to be outside due to that lightning. But once you guys get through this batch, you guys will be in the clear for the rest of the day, in the next couple of days. Well, until Monday afternoon, maybe even Monday morning. It's the same situation going on with Peach County. You guys are in the home stretch. After the Fort Valley gets through this little light rain that they got going on here, you guys will be in the clear. Upson County, you guys are already in the clear. Similar situation going on with Macon, Lamar, Monroe, as well as Crawford, almost in the clear. Crawford got a few areas of some heavy rainfall towards the north, just north of Lizella, entering Bibb County as we speak. So because they're entering Bibb County, let's see if we can pull up a sky cam, see what's going on there. All right, so yeah, I think it's facing the wrong way. Let's see if I can rotate it. There we go. Yeah, so you kind of see the clouds. Some interesting looking clouds. Very dark and ominous looking. But for the most part, it is just heavy rain, lightning. You know, if you hear thunder roar, go indoors. If anything concerning pops up, we'll let you know. But yeah, those are some interesting clouds. All right, back to the radar. Okay, so here's something to look at. It looks like we have a tornado warning in southeastern Alabama. That's in 1230. So I will say, just looking at the direction of the polygon, this system doesn't seem to be headed towards our 13W MAZ viewing area, maybe just south of it. We will monitor it. But once again, I am still looking at this system out here just west of Americus. America's starting to see some light to moderate rain as I speak. And let's look at the velocity signature again. Let's look at the debris signature, I'm sorry. All right, so kind of hard to tell. Again, just being this far out from radars, it's hard to pick up data out here. That's the situation here. But looking at the velocity, similar situation. Let's see. And even as we head eastward, it's hard to pick up what's going on. All right. And not seeing I'm seeing some curvature, but not a necessarily textbook hook going on here. I'm not seeing that, is what I'm saying. So we're going to continue to watch this for now. Like I said, this tornado warning, the red polygon over here is in Alabama, south and eastern Alabama. That's until 1230, but that's not projected. I don't think it's projected to make its way, even if it lasts that long, which it probably won't. You know, it looks like it's going to make its way south of the 13 WMZ viewing area. We'll watch it though, just to kind of watch it. But going out towards Sumter County, Dooley and Crisp County, you guys want to just continue to be weather aware about the situation going on right now. If you guys know anybody in Dooley and Crisp, let them know. Macon County still seeing quite a bit of heavy rainfall as well. Let's see if the wind gusts are high right now. Yeah, so Americus isn't picking up on the wind gusts right now. Butler, seeing gusts up to 18 miles per hour. Sandersville, 21. Dublin, 23. Macon, 25. It's a little gusty out there. And for those of you who are just joining us, because I know I'm being repetitive, but you know, people come in and they come out of the live stream all the time, so I repeat myself sometimes, but taking a look at today's storm outlook, we are seeing wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. I think some areas right now within those polygons in that severe thunderstorm warning closer to Americus and Sumter County, you can see gusts up to 60 miles per hour as that storm moves eastward. And we can't rule out the possibility for tornadoes today, specifically within those isolated storms that we're going to see. And I've been saying that all morning because I want to be clear when I say we're not going to see a lot of storms today. We haven't so far in central Georgia. We've only seen maybe a couple real storms, 2 or 3. But we have to really watch those storms to see if anything spins up. Similar situation going on with the hail. Within those isolated, I'm gonna call them supercells, that's where we can see the tornadoes and hail. But so far, we're monitoring the situation and we're not seeing that just yet. So we're kind of in the all clear at the moment. All right, back to the radar. And that severe thunderstorm warning in Sumter County, that expires at 1:15. Which is in less than 15 minutes from now. All right, let's take a look at that sky cam again, see if we're getting anything a little bit more visual. Yeah, so we're already seeing, and these clouds are moving quick. Some dark, low-level cloud decks. Nothing tornadic. I know a lot of times we see clouds, they look a little low, especially when it's not raining, like right before it starts the storm or rain, but nothing spinning up out there. And then just to repeat myself a little bit, we're seeing some storms. I'm sorry, as we head throughout the next few hours, we have some storms moving in from the west, southwest, towards Dooley County, Crisp County, Wilcox, Telfair, Wheeler, Montgomery. I know you guys might not have seen any rain just yet, but if you're in those areas, rain is on the way nevertheless, according to these models. So just kind of, don't do anything outside just yet if you have anything planned. But our north and western counties will be in the clear soon, if not already. And let's talk about that. I'm gonna do like a little radar sweep. So if I say your county right off the bat, you guys are in the clear. That includes Jasper County, Putnam County, Monroe, Upson, Lamar, Butts County. That includes you two. Spalding, Pike, all you guys are good. Hancock County, you guys are almost in the clear, got some stratoform rain still over you. Baldwin County, you guys are in a little storm, I'll call it a storm. Got some lightning going on in there. Doesn't look like there's any hail situated with that system. Not seeing any rotation there either. I'm seeing some spots where the green meets the red. I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm gonna keep my eye out on that one, okay? And then just looking at the velocity signature once again for this area closer towards Americas. It looks like they are still clipping this system as the storm moves eastward. So they're clipping the severe thunderstorm warning themselves, I'm sorry. And as it moves eastward, they're going to keep clipping it until the severe threat is over, which at the moment is just stronger wind gusts, and they are definitely monitoring, I think, some rotation in the area. Montezuma just got out of a lot of rain. Marshallville is seeing some showers. Continuing that radar sweep before I got off track. Baldwin County, you guys are seeing some storms. Gray, you probably saw some storms earlier, but you guys are almost through it. That includes all of Jones County. Crawford County, you guys are in the clear. Bibb County getting ready to see some rain like we saw on the Skycam. Washington County, you guys are seeing that rain towards the north. You could see some more rain move in towards Sandersville a little bit later. And then everybody else, that potential for some rain or storms are still there. So the coast is not clear yet. And then we're still watching this tornado warning in south and eastern Alabama, headed eastward. Lots of heavy rain going on in Americas, towards Smithville. All right, I'm gonna zoom out and let you guys just kind of see what's going on there. Just reading up on the National Weather Service, see if we're getting any updates. They said there was some radar indicated hail in that area, up to a penny size. I was not seeing that on the radar. Checking again. Okay, seeing a little bit of hail picking up just west of Americas in Webster County. See how it's moving there? Right there. But overall, not a lot. I'm checking the velocity again. Okay, it looks like we're getting better data there. Here we go. All right, so that area of rotation, I'll call it broad rotation. It wasn't anything tight. It doesn't look like it seemed to be as organized anymore, which is good news. That's probably why they haven't extended that severe thunderstorm warning. That's probably why they still have it. Usually they'll put tornado possible, or they'll put it in the update, but I'm not seeing that. But overall, like I said before, it looks like that area rotation is broadening out. Not too much of an area rotation, too much anymore. So I'm not too worried about it. You guys shouldn't be either. But now I'm looking at an area towards just south and west of Henderson, towards Unadilla. That seems to be a lot more tighter. That's definitely something I'm concerned about. The colors are a lot more brighter. You have a tight area of rotation. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you're in the Unadilla area, towards I-75, I would get in your safe place. I'm gonna contact my producers, let them know. Might have to go live soon. All right, and I'm gonna just let the National Weather Service know that we are seeing an area of rotation in northern Macon County. Again, if you're in that area, just in northern Macon County towards Unadilla, I'm sorry, northern Dooley County, I was zoomed in a little bit too close there, and Unadilla, but it is in Macon County too, south and eastern Macon County towards Unadilla and Henderson, that's Houston County. You guys probably should be in your safe place. Let's see, sorry. All right, so a lot going on, obviously, but just to kind of recap now that I've let them know, Americus is under a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:15. That's Sumter County and Webster County. Got a line of storms moving in from the west associated with a cold front, lots of lightning associated with it. All that's headed eastward, south and eastward. We were seeing an area of rotation near Americus. It looks like it's starting to broad out a little bit though, but we're still watching it. And then towards Unadilla, we're watching an area of a rotation there too. That's just to the west of Unadilla, south of Henderson and Dooley County, north and east of Byronville, coming in out of Macon County. And just looking at the radar, not seeing an impressive hook on the radar, but we don't always have to have that. Definitely some area of rotation there though. And then those storms are still moving through Americas. Looking a little bit more north and eastward towards Milledgeville, because I was watching those storms up there too. Yeah, so it looks like it's just straight line winds for now. Nothing there is spinning up at the moment. No concern out there in Baldwin County. You guys are still seeing a lot of heavy rain though and a lot of lightning. So just try to stay indoors if you can help it. But nothing too concerning going on in Baldwin County. Going back to the radar. Okay, so I just contacted the National Weather Service, and they are putting up a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag for Unadilla. I think I am going to go, let's see. Sorry, in contacts with producers and digital team, making sure we're all on the same page in case we have to go live. Okay, so looking at all the polygons that are popping up now that the National Weather Service has noticed my message, we are seeing a severe thunderstorm warning. And now let's start with Dooley, Houston, and Pulaski County with the tag tornado possible. We're seeing some heavy rainfall in that area, lots of lightning in that area, but looking at the velocity, we are seeing some rotation going on there, where the colors, the red and the light green are meeting, and all that is moving eastward. That's crossing over into Unadilla, and then eventually into Wilcox County and Pulaski County. More so Pulaski County, not Wilcox County. Anywhere north of Pineville, but it is headed southeastward. But Wilcox County, you guys have to be concerned about this severe thunderstorm warning here in Crisp and Sumter County, and county just south of that, Lee County, Worth County, because that's still moving from the west eastward. And it looks like there is also some pretty good rotation there now too, because those colors are pretty bright. But again, we are far away from the radar, so the data out here is very skewed. A lot going on here. All right, so once again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Dooley County, Houston County, Pulaski County with a tornado possible sign there. And that's right over Unadilla. So if you're in the Unadilla area, make sure you are in your safe place right now. We are seeing rotation there and the colors are brighter there, so that means the wind speeds are up as well. The National Weather says they're continuing to monitor the situation. They're letting me know of any confirmed action on the ground there closer towards Dooley County into Pulaski County. But you should definitely be in your area if you are in Unadilla and anywhere around that area in Dooley County, and even in portions of southern Houston County, like the Elko area and the Henderson area. Definitely be in your safe place, seeing that area of rotation there. And there is a tornado possible. Checking back down to our friends to the south and west. I know I'm kind of repeating the same information over again, but things are changing pretty quickly here. Still seeing lots of lightning and rain and headed into Smithville. Americas, you guys are almost in the clear. You guys are out of the severe thunderstorm warning, but the rain is almost gone. Not seeing too much lightning in that area anymore. Still in contacts with the National Weather Service right now and the team. We're all kind of monitoring the situation. Looking back at Unadilla, tornado possible. And then looking at the velocity. It looks like we are still seeing some rotation in that area. Alrighty, so I think I am going to take this live, just looking at all of the information. We are going to start broadcasting on air, so give us a brief moment. We're going to transition from digital to online. 1 second. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Already. Good afternoon, Central Georgia. I'm meteorologist Jordan West. I hate to interrupt anything, but right now it looks like we do have a potential tornado on the ground near the Unadilla area there in Dooley County, and even a portion of southern Houston County entering the Pulaski area. So if you are in the Unadilla area, just make sure you guys are go ahead and getting into your safe place, as well as the Henderson area and anywhere near that area. Definitely be in your safe place at the moment, because we are seeing that wind signature. So the green and the red, they're meeting. We're seeing some rotation there. We're seeing that bright colors appear on the screen. So that is a potential tornado there on the ground. We're not seeing a warning just yet, but we are seeing a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on there. I wouldn't be surprised within the next few minutes they were to upgrade this to a tornado warning, but we were definitely keeping a close eye on this area, especially for the people near Unadilla. But seeing how this system is moving with time, it's definitely been strengthening a little bit more every now and then. But taking a look at the reflectivity and the radar, we're not seeing too much of a hook with the system. So if you are in this area, definitely be inside. You're not able to take pictures of a potential tornado on the ground just because there's so much rain at the moment going through that area. And I'm communicating with the production team. By the way, we're on weather computer number 1, so I can show you guys the reflectivity here on the screen in just a second. But if you're in that area, definitely want to be in your severe weather safe spot. And then it looks like we are still seeing, yes, weather computer number 2. We are still seeing some rain there in that area. So you'll see it here. There we go. So if you're in this area and you're trying to, take pictures of a tornado, which you should not be doing, by the way, you're not going to be able to see it because it's completely rain wrapped. We have so much rain in the area associated with it, and we're not seeing that hook. There, you wouldn't be able to see it. And there's a lot of just rain moving in from the west, lots of lightning associated with this system. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2 p.m. with the tag tornado possible. So definitely want to be a little bit more on the cautious side. And then we are under a level 2 of 5 on our severe weather outlook scale. This is the reason we're starting to see these storms move on in towards our southern counties. And then we are in the green a little bit for some of our northern counties. But as this squall line approaches us, this is a cold front that's been moving over a majority of Georgia and majority of the United States over the past couple of days, really. And it's our turn to kind of see that cold front affect central Georgia. But looking at the radar again, trying to see if we see any more evidence of a tornado on the ground. Taking a minute to load here. Okay, it doesn't look like we see that on the reflectivity, but going back to the velocity, yeah, still seeing that there. I'll let that run a little bit, but notice how the green is rotating around the red right there, just east of I-75 now. Slowly but surely it's making its way eastward over into Pulaski County. I think Houston County, you guys for the most part are in the clear. This is more of a Unadilla type of situation towards Pinehurst, and it would have crossed I-75 by now as well. But it is moving eastward. Let's see if we can zoom out and see what communities this system will hit with time. First, we need to check the wind speeds. Let's see. Moving around 60 miles per hour. So if we were to track this system southeastward or eastward, let's see. I'm sorry, this system is moving 30 miles per hour, so if you see your community there on the screen, that's what I'm talking about. We could see places just east of this area as early as 2:22, so within the next hour or so as the system moves eastward, but definitely still seeing some rotation there on the screen. Definitely worried about this situation. You want to be in your safe spots if you're in near any of these communities. If you know anybody near those communities, make sure you give them a phone call. Going back to the reflectivity there though, we are seeing heavy rain, lots of lightning in that area, and it has all crossed I-75 in terms of that area of rotation that we were seeing. But zooming out to the big picture, I know some of you guys are a little bit worried about other counties. It looks like Baldwin County headed into Hancock and Washington County. You guys just got to have a bad little storm there. And then we were also watching some rotation just west of Dooley and Crisp County in Americus and Smithville. Checking there, seeing if we have any rotation. Seeing some brighter colors, seeing some red closer to the green, but I don't think we're seeing any rotation there. It looks like straight line winds for the moment. Definitely something to look out for at the very least, but we're used to the pretty strong winds here in central Georgia. But that tornado possible tag closer to Unadilla is still out there. Debatably, it's even becoming more tight as it moves eastward into Pulaski County right there. So once again, if you're in those communities, just make sure you're in your safe place, especially as the system heads towards Pulaski County, towards Hawkinsville. And this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 2 p.m. So continue to stay weather aware with us. We may go off soon, depending on how tight the system is. If it does start to broaden out, we will just jump off air real quick, but we would continue coverage online on the app and stuff. But as long as this rotation is tight, we're gonna keep going. You can see the colors are brightening up. That means the wind speeds are a little bit stronger. Let's look at the debris signature, see if there's anything popping up there. So we are seeing a little yellow there on the radar, but that could just be stuff in the air like leaves and branches. This could be a system where there's rotation in the air and might be coming down a little bit, but it's not on the ground. And technically there isn't a tornado on the ground. There technically isn't a tornado that hasn't been on the ground. Tornadoes are defined as, you know, rotational wind speeds that's touching the ground itself. So it may just be a little bit higher in the air, but still definitely, I would call this a very dangerous situation you could be in. Just east of Unadilla, headed towards Hawkinsville area. Definitely want to be in your safe place. But the National Weather Service has been monitoring it. If it does decide to collapse, we will jump off air. Just checking a little bit towards the south a little bit more, seeing some strong straight line winds. All right, and then just zooming out in terms of the radar. Not too much going on to our north. It's mainly just the south and west that we're worried about here. And again, we're under that level 2. That's where we're under that level 2, the south and the east and south and west, the southern counties really. You can see that here. And the main threats all day have been those strong wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. We can't rule out that possibility for a tornado. The situation that we've been seeing all morning is we haven't seen that many storms in central Georgia as a whole. In fact, that cold front is halfway through central Georgia, but the few storms that we have been seeing has that potential for that tornado, has that potential for some pretty large hail. We haven't seen much hail this morning so far. Now, some parts of northern Georgia, like Atlanta has, but here in central Georgia, we haven't seen that much hail, and tornadoes haven't been too much of a threat, but it looks like we are starting to see one now in Unadilla. So we're monitoring that system very closely. Wind speeds across the board, upwards to 20 mile per hour wind gusts near Butler. Looks like Warner Robins is a little bit calm, but surrounding Warner Robins a little bit stronger. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour near Macon, in the teens towards the north and east. Let's go back to the radar, see if there's any changes in that rotational area that we were looking at. Let's see. So still seeing some rotation in that area, moving towards Pulaski County. If this system stays a little bit more southward, it could dodge Hawkinsville. I'm gonna step out the way here. You kind of see that there, Hawkinsville. The system is just south of that area, headed out of Unadilla. So Unadilla, it looks like for the most part, you guys are in the clear. If you're east of Unadilla, I would stay in your safe place just to be sure. We're still seeing some rotation there where the red meets the green. The colors are relatively brighter than what we're seeing around this area of rotation. So that has the potential to be a tornado right there. That's why we're on. And once again, this would be a rain-wrapped tornado because there's a lot of rain in the area. You can see that on the reflectivity. So the reflectivity is the radar that you guys are used to. You can see that right there. Lots of rain. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you guys can get a better picture. You see that right there. Even within the heavier rain, you kind of see a little bit of a hook going on there. Let me pause it. Right there. See where the heavier rain is starting to wrap around a little central location? That's what I'm worried about right there. So if you're in those areas, once again, you want to be in the safe place. This is anywhere just east of Unadilla. And if you're in eastern Unadilla, definitely be in your safe place. Going back to the velocity. Still seeing that area of rotation where that red meets the green and seeing a little bit of a hook there, that comet shape right there. We'll be continuing to watch this. This warning expires around 2 o'clock. It looks like it's starting to broaden out a little bit towards the north. We're not seeing the red wrap around the green, just the green wrapping around the red, but definitely some brighter colors there. And then looking back down here to our south and west towards Crisp County. Not seeing any rotation there just yet. Hopefully we don't, right? Although the wind speeds are relatively strong, we can see gusts up to 60 miles per hour, not only in this area, but in the area just to our north where that potential tornado is on the ground. But if you are in Unadilla and you're trying to go outside, I would wait it out. We're seeing a lot of lightning still in this area, right behind this system that's moving through. So you don't want to be outdoors. Once again, if you hear thunder roar, go indoors. I know you hear us say that all the time, but it's something to be taken seriously. But that's the only threat that we are looking at is the lightning and thunder. So
let it move on past, maybe wait about 30 minutes or so, a little bit more than that even, and then you can go out and continue your day. This is a pretty quick system. Remember, this is a cold front moving through, a squall line even moving through. It's a little bit more disorganized than what we're used to, but this whole system is indeed a cold front making its way in. And once this cold front passes on through, we are in the clear. Sunday is looking nice and beautiful. We're going to see cooler temperatures rush in overnight, starting out in the 40s. We just have to get through this round here. And we've been watching for any severe weather, and so far it looks like this has been the only area of rotation we've seen in the central Georgia area that could be potentially dangerous as it moves from the west eastward. Okay, and I'm checking the debris signature, and we are seeing some yellow popped up there on the screen, and even some green. So this is, we call this the correlation coefficient. It measures any debris that's flying around in the air that's not rain, which is probably all the red that you see here, and that's not, clouds and stuff like that. That's not hail. And when we see yellow, it's a little bit indicative of something else flying out there in the air, a little bit something more broader, something bigger. So we are seeing a little bit of evidence there. And just looking at this still, it's starting to become a little bit unorganized, but still an area of rotation nonetheless. We're still seeing that comet shape there in the green, still seeing that red wrap around just a little bit, but it looks like it's starting to separate a little bit. So we're watching this very closely as we head into 2 o'clock. That's when the the severe thunderstorm warning expires. I do want to note and be specific about this. This is a severe thunderstorm warning with the tag tornado possible. Typically, they issue these right before a tornado warning. So I wouldn't be surprised if they issued a tornado warning right now. And there has been times where they've issued these severe thunderstorm warnings with the tornado possible tag on it. And when they went out to survey the damage, there was indeed a tornado on the ground. So we're taking this as if it is a tornado on the ground. If you're in the western Pulaski County, eastern Dublin County at this point, you want to be in your safe place. Anywhere just south of Browndale, even in parts of Browndale, southern Browndale, you guys want to be in your safe place. Looks like Wallace, the system is headed towards you guys. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. A lot of you guys are probably already starting to see the rain. So Hawkinsville looks to be in an area where the heavier stuff is headed towards your way, but not there just yet. Seeing a lot of lightning, but overall, not too much to worry about in Hawkinsville. Now, if this area of rotation that we're seeing here makes its way a little bit more northward, then we have something to worry about. But as of right now, Hawkinsville, you guys are in the clear. And also, Houston County, you guys are also in the clear. Anywhere in Houston County, nothing to worry about there. We will be watching it, though, to see if anything else will spin up. Although, again, anything north of this front, we're not even worried about it anymore. In fact, they're more than likely cancel the severe risk just to the north. Okay, just got word in. We are going to go ahead and sign off for now because it does like the system is broadening out just a little bit. And if they were to turn this into a tornado warning, we'll be right back. But for now, we will be on the 13WMAZ Plus app on the Fire Stick and on the Roku, so you can go there. And we will be on Facebook potentially, and then we will also be on the 13WMAZ mobile app if you want to continue this coverage. And if you are in the Pulaski County area and the Dooley County area, definitely I suggest you go to the mobile app and as we continue all of this coverage. But for now, we are going to continue our broadcast, and we'll let you know if anything else were to pop up. All right, if you guys are with me online,
I'm waiting to see if anything happens. Wait on my digital team here. Thanks. Do you know if we're still online on the like on the app and stuff? Okay, it looks like they just confirmed. All right, so we're still online. Sorry, guys. All right, so continue this coverage. I am now at the Weather Center. Just gonna let you know that I am here. And we're gonna continue tracking this potential tornado that's possible just south of Hawkinsville, east of Unadilla, that is moving pretty quickly. And this will expire at 2 p.m. I have a feeling they are definitely going to extend this warning over a little bit. Although I will say the area of rotation is broadening. Let's just jump in straight into it. Back into the full screen. Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of areas, we're seeing a big area where the red is meeting that green. And this is just west of Hawkinsville, but a little bit too close for comfort for me. So that said, if you're in that Hawkinsville area and anywhere south of that area, definitely be in your safe place. I'm gonna go to the radar now. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. Zooming in a little bit, just west of Gooseneck. That's where we're seeing that potential tornado and that potential area of rotation. And that is all moving south and eastward. Near the Wallace area as well. If you're in the Wallace area, definitely be in your safe place. The system is moving eastward. Checking back down there to our south and western counties. Near Lake Shear, Cordell. Got some strong, heavy rain moving through the area, and looks like some pretty strong wind gusts as well. But I'm not seeing any areas of rotation there at the moment. I'm looking at this area where the red meets the green, but I don't think it's rotating per se. Nothing to worry about there. But going back to this area near Pulaski County, it's a real broad area of rotation, but the fact that we're seeing so much red in there worries me. That there could be an area of rotation still in that area. So I would still take this as something serious. Anywhere south of Hawkinsville, you guys definitely want to be in your safe place. Everywhere else seems to be fine in the central Georgia area. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here so you guys can see what's going on. We got some storms up there in Washington County that are all moving eastward. You guys are good up there. Got some rain moving into Johnson County, headed eastward towards Swainsboro. You guys are just seeing that rain. Up there in Bleckley County, you guys are good, just rain over you for now, but we're really concerned about that Pulaski County area. Julie County, you guys are in the clear in terms of that potential tornado. In terms of the rain, the lightning, the heavy rain, you guys are not. Not to say that there's anything severe in that area, but definitely something, you don't want to be outside because of the lightning, is what I'm going to say. But we do have severe thunderstorm warning just south and west of Dooley County, even in parts of Crisp County, as lightning moves in from the west eastward. Coming in out of Smithville, Americus, you guys are almost in the clear. Seeing some rain there, but that's about it. We are continuing to monitor the situation. I'm curious if they're going to extend the severe thunderstorm warning, because, and usually they would have by now, because that red is really close to that green there. Once again, if you're anywhere south of Hawkinsville, even in Hawkinsville, I would go ahead and be in your safe place. Everywhere else, you guys are kind of just fine. I kind of said earlier this morning, and I'm going to go back to the SPC outlook when I say this. the threat here are the severe storms that we've been seeing, or the few severe storms that we have been seeing. We haven't seen a lot of storms today. That's the big picture. But the storms that we do see, they're going to have that potential for a tornado. They're going to have that potential for hail. I'm getting a siren in the studio. I'm trying to see what's the update here. Sorry, I know I'm going from one thing to the other. They canceled the warning. Okay, so it looks like they extended the severe thunderstorm warning in Crisp County and in Wilcox County, but no tornado is possible. So, yeah, no tornado possible. All right. Contacting production. All right, so, okay, backing up here, a lot going on at once. I'm gonna zoom in. You guys can see the full screen. Looking at Dooley County, Crisp County, and Wilcox County. Dooley County, you guys are in the clear in terms of that tornado. Although parts of southern Dooley County are in a severe thunderstorm warning, and this also includes Crisp County, Wilcox County. So Rochelle, these storms are headed your way. Abbeville, similar situation. And Cordele, you guys are already seeing a pretty strong storm headed your way. The main threat seems to be strong wind speeds and gusts up to 60 miles per hour, heavy rain and lightning. You should be all good as long as you stay inside. But there's no tornado threat associated with this system moving through Crisp County and Wilcox County, just a straight line of winds. And once this system makes its way on through, you'll be in the clear. Americas, you guys are almost done with it. Smithville getting ready to see some more rain right behind the wave that they just got through. And I'm gonna go back to this potential tornado on the ground that they have not updated yet. Okay, I will say it's broadening out a lot more than it was earlier. So that potential has gone down significantly. Just watching this, see what they were saying. Okay, so it looks like they just continued it until 2 p.m., but they have not extended the polygon, which is also concerning. Because if you're in the Wallace area and the Hawkinsville area, there could be that potential tornado on the ground. Once again, I know I've been saying it a lot, you want to be in your safe place. Crisp County, you guys are in the clear there. And let's see if there's, okay, this is what they're talking about. Okay. Sorry, they're issuing like 8 warnings all at once. So to back up a little bit, we're looking at Crisp County. There could be a tornado possible there. Crossing Lake Blackshear, Warwick, just west of Cordele. Okay, and they're now continuing that other tornado possible warning in Pulaski County. And that's set to expire at 2. But looking closer towards Crisp County, there goes another warning. This will expire at 2 as well. Not seeing as tight of a rotation as what we were seeing up there in Dooley County, your neighbors to your north. But we are seeing where the red meets the green. And I'm not really seeing too much going on down here. I'm not at all concerned about a tornado in Crisp County. No. All right, and then, so yeah, a lot going on here. Going back to the radar, we're going to Let's start up north and work our way a little bit more southward. So Lawrence County, you guys are getting ready to see some rain move in from the west. Bleckley County, similar situation, seeing some thunder and lightning towards south of Cochrane. Dodge County, similar situation, rain and thunder moving in from the north and west. And then the potential tornado that was potentially on the ground in South Hawkinsville is continuing eastward. We're going to continue to watch this area rotation, because even if it's not rotating anymore or it's not a system that's on the ground, it could be as it moves eastward, because that red and green that are next to each other aren't letting up. That's moving into Dodge County. And it looks like they're about to issue another severe thunderstorm warning for Pulaski County. Oh no, they canceled it, okay. So it looks like they also agree that that's a broad area rotation. They're going to continue to monitor it if it were to rotate a little bit more. But you guys, for now, are in the clear. Hawkinsville, Pulaski County, if you're in your safe place, you can leave for now. Continue to monitor the situation and stay weather aware. Okay, now that I'm able to concentrate a little bit more on this area as well. Southern Crisp County, you guys are in a severe thunderstorm warning. This does not have the tag tornado possible. Similar situation happening in Wilcox County. Now, Western Crisp County does have one, and that's this polygon here. I know there's a lot of polygons here, so I'm gonna point here, right here. This is the tag that's tornado possible. I'm not seeing the rotation. I'm not too concerned with it, but if I were in South and Western Crisp County, I would go ahead and just be in my safe place, just to be on the safe side. I'm gonna look at some debris signature here. We are seeing some yellow pop up, so there's something flying around in the air. Not a lot of debris like we would typically see with tornadoes. Typically we see, the green and other colors in this area, but we're not seeing it. Once again, not seeing too much rotation in this area, but the National Weather Service does have a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag, not an actual tornado warning. And this does include the Lake Blackshear area, anywhere in Western Crisp County. Now, the rest of Crisp County is also under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it does not have that tornado tag possible, right? So you're not seeing that here. And that expires at 2:15 as the system makes its way from the west. Now, I do agree with the National Weather Service. There will more than likely be some pretty strong wind gusts, up to 60 miles per hour in this area. Checking to see if there's any lightning in the area. There is, so I wouldn't be outside. But if you're in Eastern Crisp County, I wouldn't be too worried. This is just a normal storm moving on through. Let it play out. That's if you're in Eastern Crisp County. If you're in Western Crisp County, I will watch it a little bit more. They do have a severe thunderstorm warning that says tornado possible. This is a very weird shape they got going on here. This is not helping me out. But you can see what's going on. A long line of storms moving through. We saw potential rotation up there in Pulaski County. That was headed eastward. It's broadened out a little bit more. I don't think that rotation is there anymore. You guys are in the clear. Majority of Dooley is in the clear, and all of Pulaski is in the clear in terms of tornadoes. Still seeing lots of rain and lightning, so you don't want to go outside when you hear thunder. If you guys want to inspect any damages, etc., wait it out. That includes you too, Unadilla. I know the thunderstorms are almost gone in Unadilla. It's mostly just light rain, but those lightning strikes, they can strike pretty far out. So I don't want you guys to risk that just yet. And I'm still not seeing evidence for a potential tornado in Crisp County. I'm seeing the system as a whole rotate, which is normal given the conditions, but not a tight rotation area where the red meets the green and there's a hook or a comma. I really just see straight line winds in this area. That should give you guys a little bit more comfort. but the tornado tag expires at 2 p.m. The tornado possible tag expires at 2 p.m. and then moving into eastern Wilcox County. I'm sorry, yeah, as we move into the Wilcox County as well into Chris County, I don't see that potential for a tornado there on this green. So you guys are looking to be in a better situation there, as well as Pulaski County and majority of south and western central Georgia. We're still seeing a lot of rain, heavy rain, and even some lightning, but nothing crazy seems to be happening. I'm keeping my eye out on this system out here in Pulaski County, just east of Hawkinsville, entering Dodge County, west of Eastman, to see if this starts to rotate a little bit more. Okay, so looks like they are canceling the severe thunderstorm warning for Crisp County, or one of them it seems. One of those polygons should expire soon. And reading what the National Weather Service is saying. So a storm spotter looks like they were able to diagnose 50-mile-per-hour wind speeds on top of a roof, which they can do this because they have anemometers up there. They're not out there in it. But you guys should definitely not be on a roof at the moment simply because of the lightning. But if you guys are indoors, I think you guys are all safe. This entire system is moving south and eastward. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Now that everything seems to be calming down a little bit, we're not seeing any hail, we're not seeing any tornadoes. All good news, right? All we're seeing is rain in some of our counties, and we're seeing lightning. So due to the lightning alone, you don't want to be outside. Other than that, we are starting to see this system move on through, which is good news. All right. I'm going to show you guys the future view now that things are starting to calm down a little bit. And you can see here that this future view is picking up on the storms to our south and west. Now, mind you, all of this should be over within the next 2.5 hours. And you can see what's going on here. These storms to our south and west will be moving through our southern counties. And once again, they should be out by 4 o'clock. So if these storms are going to continue to be a little bit something stronger, we will continue to watch them and monitor them. But if they start to weaken, that will be good news. But once again, I do want to note, we are under a level 2 of 5 on our severe weather outlook, and you see that down here to the south. Now, the main reason we're seeing the level 2 towards the south is because of the temperatures. So we're approaching the maximum heating time during a day, typically right before sunset, sometimes a couple hours right before that when the sun is up in the air, warming the ground up. And by the time that cold front makes its way towards our southern counties, that's when we're going to align with that time frame. And as that happens, we see more heat, higher temperatures, which lead to more instability in the atmosphere, and more instability means more convection means more thunderstorms, and any rain and moisture that we see out there has that potential to become something a little bit on the stronger side. But overall, again, we have not seen that many storms so far. Hopefully we don't see too many more storms. So far, the severe thunderstorm warnings that we are seeing at the moment are starting to downgrade a little bit. We're not seeing any hail, we're not seeing any tornadoes. So hopefully that continues as we head towards the east, as those storms head eastward. But we will continue to monitor tornadoes, and we will continue to monitor for hail, although we haven't seen much of any hail at all, so I doubt we'll see any more of that. And wind gusts can be up to 35 miles per hour across the entirety of central Georgia, because wind gusts take a while to kind of calm down, and that has to do with the pressure gradient and all that fun stuff. But we will continue to monitor the other parameters, and I have a feeling they're going to trim this down as the system moves south and eastern, like they already have. But one more time, level 2 for our southern counties, and the green is level 1 for our northern counties. If this cold front has passed us already in some of our counties, you guys are already in the clear. I'm gonna go back to the radar, see what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna start up here to the north and east. I feel like I haven't been giving Washington County any love, but they do have some heavy rain moving through the area and some lightning associated with it. Once again, not seeing any hail, not seeing any rotation going on there. No real debris signatures. So they're in the clear. Moving back down here, Lawrence County, all you guys are seeing as of now is rain. All that's moving eastward. Similar situation happening in Dodge County. That's all rain and lightning. Bleckley County, I do want to say that you guys are looking to be in the clear. The last little bit of rain is moving on out. Cochran, you guys are good. Wait maybe 20 minutes, just in case there's any lingering lightning out there, and then you guys can go outside and enjoy the rest of your day, because once the system moves on out, we are all good to go, especially tomorrow. I mean, we're gonna see temperatures waking up in the 40s, and then by the afternoon, only in the 70s. It's gonna be a great day tomorrow. So once the system leaves, you guys can take a deep breath, and we are all good. Not that there's too much of anything going on with the system. I mean, Pulaski County, you guys are in the clear as well. I'm sorry, you guys aren't seeing that tornado potential as well. You guys aren't seeing any hail potential, just the rain and lightning. I'm gonna check in on the velocity. So as these systems move from the west eastward, the good news is our radar is a little bit closer to them, so we can pick up more identifiable features with them. You can see more of the red, you can see more of the green. Still not seeing any rotation. Similar situation happening as this system moves through Pulaski County. I am starting to see this system rotate a little bit more though. Checking the debris signatures. Not seeing anything alarming. I will continue to monitor this and stay up to date with the National Weather Service. Okay. Looking at Dublin and Chris County, it looks like it's mostly just straight line winds. I'm not seeing any rotation in that area, but we will watch out for any. But right now, it seems like everybody is in a good spot at the moment. Again, not seeing any confirmed tornadoes on the ground, not seeing any hail, just strong wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour in some spots, and then lots of lightning out there. All right, and if you're hearing the beeping in my microphone, we have the beeper in the studio for any updates on the warnings, and it looks like they did continue the warning in Crisp and Wilcox County until 2:15. It looks like they trimmed it just a little bit. right, just looking at some other potential stuff there. All right, so back to the radar, zooming out a little bit. Velocity, just searching for areas of potential rotation. All right, still kind of watching this area here, headed towards Eastman, coming from Hawkinsville. Hawkinsville, you guys are in the clear, by the way. No potential tornado there. Now this rotation area here, we're gonna keep watching. So far, the National Weather Service has not issued any tornado warning for this area or severe thunderstorm warning, but they are watching it. Let's just continue to monitor the situation. And then west of Rochelle, as this system moves through Wilcox County and Crisp County, I'm not seeing any threats there. No hail out there. This is the hail chart. There's just nothing there to see. And then velocity, not seeing much rotation there. I'm gonna keep watching it though, just to be sure. I'm gonna let this play out a little bit for y'all. All right. So we're looking good across central Georgia as of now. We're watching for any potential tornado activity. But it looks like for now it's just heavy rain and lots of lightning. All that's headed eastward. Let's take a look at the future view. Once again, those storms to the south and west, they look like they are going to continue eastward through Dodge County, Telfair, Wheeler, Montgomery, Truitland counties. Slowly but surely, and then they should be out of here by 4 o'clock. Which is only in a couple hours from now. Yeah, then just taking a look again at the storm outlook for today. We're under level 2 for our southern counties, level 1 for our northern counties. But as this entire system continues to make its way southward, a lot of our northern counties are already in the clear. All right, just checking the National Weather Service, make sure we're not getting any updates. All right, so they're still monitoring the situation happening towards Dodge County. I'm not going to ignore the elephant in the room. We are seeing a little bit of rotation there, just west of Eastman. It is very broad. We're not seeing a lot of rotation right there. It looks more like straight lined winds, but the system itself has been holding on. We're going to continue to monitor this. I'm going to see what the National Weather Service has to say. But it looks like, to me, right now, just a broad area of straight lined winds with a little bit of rotation that isn't enough to signify a tornado. All right, moving south and westward, this is the situation that's going on in Crisp and Wilcox County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for another 5 minutes. There is no tornado possible on this warning. Hail size or hail isn't out there. If there were to be any, it'd be a penny size, but we're not seeing any hail out there. So not too many threats affecting central Georgia right now. I'm looking for any areas of rotation in potentially Wilcox County, not really seeing much of it. Seeing a lot of red there, and when the red meets the green, we kind of have to watch, but it's not until they rotate and they start to really spin up and tighten that we really have to worry about it, which is why I'm not worried about anything around Eastman at the present moment. So far, it's looking to be just a straight line winds. All right, let's focus a little bit more on this. Let's take a look at the rainfall totals. The system that was moving through shouldn't have been anything like what we saw last weekend, where we just saw rain, rain, and more rain. So rainfall totals over the past 24 hours, quarter inch, maybe an inch in some spots where we saw those warnings, for example, and just south of Cordele. But overall, not a lot of rain. This may add a little bit to the flooding that we've been seeing in some of the rivers, but overall, not a lot. We're not going to see, 20 feet of river water, adding to the stockpile. Not too concerned about that. A lot of the rivers are already starting to die down a little bit, so that's good to hear. And once again, we're still under that level 2 for our southern counties. But just to go back and kind of give the all clear for some spots. If you are in Jasper County, Putnam County, Hancock County, Monroe, Upson, Lamar, Spalding, Butts, Crawford, Taylor, Macon County now, Houston, Peach, and Wilkinson, you guys are all in the clear. And even if you're in Macon County, Houston County, Twiggs County, if you guys want to go outside and see if there's any damage, feel free. All the lighting is way to the south. Unadilla, you guys are in the clear. We got some rain moving out of the Cochran area. Checking for rotation again, not seeing it still. Not seeing any tightening anyway, not seeing any tornado potential. Not seeing any of it. all good things to hear. No tornadoes, no hail, just rain, and some lightning. I'm sure we could, some spots could use the rain, other spots not so much. And these warnings to our south should expire soon. Unless they extend them more eastward, which I doubt. I'm not seeing any hail being picked up, not seeing any tornado potential there. So I would, yeah, they just extended it to 2:30. Or no, they expired it, I'm sorry. The one just south of Wilcox County, near Rebecca, those are the ones until 2:30. But it looks like that area to the north and east let's see. So this is new. As of now, 2:15, they have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Dodge, Lawrence, Telfair, and Wheeler County. I do think this is very broad, the warning. I think they kind of just said, okay, we have a couple areas where there could be some rotation, nothing confirmed, but just in case, let's just cover the rest of the DMA, the rest of the viewing area with some severe thunderstorm warnings, just in case. So we'll be watching these two. Still not seeing any broad rotation near Eastman, still not seeing too much there in Rochelle. I'll continue to monitor it, but we're not seeing any tornado threat right now. Definitely a good bit of rain moving in from the west. You guys are probably hearing a lot of lightning. I'm sorry, hearing a lot of thunder, seeing a lot of lightning out there in Eastman and potentially Rochelle, towards Abbeville as well. But hey, once the system makes its way through south and eastern central Georgia, the rest of our viewing area through, Telfair, Wheeler, Montgomery, we are in the clear. And if these systems continue to stay unorganized and we're not seeing any tornadoes, we're not seeing any hail, I don't mind this at all. Okay, so looks like we do have a storm report, a tree down on Cannon Road near Mile Pond Road, and that is in Crisp County. I probably should have started with that. So in Crisp County, a tree is down on Cannon Road near Mile Pond Road. This is just a local storm report damage caused supposedly by strong wind speeds. Checking in on the velocity again near Eastman, near Rochelle. And then I'm going to look at the debris signature. Not seeing too much going on, nothing abnormal. All right. And then once again, we are moving into an area where we are under a level 2. So, all the more reason to continue to monitor and watch to see what's going on. That's why I'm here. But as of now, we're not seeing anything, which is great news. We like to see it. Just some pretty strong wind speeds. One thing I do want to note, with all of the lightning out there and thunder, make sure you know where your pets are. I don't think they like all of the thunder in their ears, and especially the dogs and cats. They can be, make sure you know where they are. So once again, this severe thunderstorm warning, it doesn't expire until 3:15, which seems like a long time, but they're going to be trimming this back. So the back half of it, the back western half, once these storms make their way through, they're going to start trimming it a little bit by little bit until some parts of the south will be out of this particular warning. All right, Bleckley County, you guys are in the clear. Cochran, you're in the clear. Hawkinsville, you guys are in the clear. Unadilla, once again, you're in the clear. Byronville, you're in the clear. Americus in the clear. We're going to continue to watch these storms. It looks like that area of rotation that we were watching earlier, closer to Eastman, is starting to really clear out. Not seeing much red there, not seeing too much rotation there, which is good. Same thing with Rochelle. More so just straight line winds. But they have this entire polygon under that warning until 3:15. About less than an hour from now. Take a look at the wind speeds. That's the 7-day. Wind speeds. All right, there we go. So looking still gusty. So with these wind speeds and gusts, they sometimes have nothing to do with the severe thunderstorm. We can see that those are sustained wind speeds over a broad general area. We're seeing gusts up to 29 miles per hour in Macon, so pretty gusty out there right now. 24 miles per hour in Vidalia, 22 in Thomaston, 17 in Butler. Now that's not to say we're not seeing strong wind speeds out in Wilcox County, out in Crisp County. They're just a little bit more tighter, a little bit more localized. Particularly, for example, in Abbeville, you guys are probably seeing some very strong wind gusts right now. Similar situation in Rochelle and Eastman, just east of Pineview. All right, and then Vienna, you guys aren't in the tornado warning, but you guys have some rain moving in from the west. All right, and then over here towards Sandersville and Tennille, you guys have some, anywhere south of those areas, you guys have some pretty heavy rain, a good bit of lightning over there as well. Not seeing any rotation, but definitely some strong wind speeds. Nothing too much to worry about. Let's take a look at the temperatures. Okay.
So you can see where the rain has been. The rain typically cools us off, which is why Cordele, Unadilla, Americas are in the 60s compared to the rest of central Georgia. Similar situation happening to Gorton, Sandersville, and Sparta in the lower 70s, and Sandersville in the mid 60s. But notice how Eastman, Rochelle, McRae, Vidalia, those are all still warm sector spots. That's why that potential for instability and a little bit more stronger thunderstorms could be possible as we head into the next few hours as the system heads into warmer climates. But if we keep up with what we have going on now, hopefully we won't see any hail or tornadoes with this system. But we'll continue to monitor it. Right now we're not seeing anything of concern. Still no rotation. Not really seeing any hail. All good news. We shouldn't see a lot of rain associated with these systems moving through compared to what we saw last week, but we could see temporary areas where you want to stop and say, turn around, don't drown, right? If you see a pothole or area on the street that's starting to flood a little bit, it shouldn't flood for any long periods of time. Once the rain clears on through, it should start to ease up. But if you're driving through all this, definitely be careful. Make sure both hands are on the steering wheel. Be extra cautious. Make sure your low beams are on, and just be careful out there on the roadways because it's wet. But if you're indoors, if you're at home, you are all good to go. Not seeing any tornadoes, any hail. There's no major concern right now. All right, no updates from the National Weather Service just yet. Not seeing any new areas of rotation. No hail out there. Let's talk about how temperatures are going to change over the next 24 hours. So right now you can see the temperatures are changing due to the rain that's falling onto the ground in southern central Georgia and southern parts of our viewing area. But as we head into tonight, all that cool air comes in from the north. We'll be sitting at temperatures in the 40s by the time we get into 7 o'clock a.m. around sunrise, which will be nice. We're not in the 30s, we're not in the freezing, we're just nice and chill outside, and then we warm up as we head into the afternoon. Highs only in the 70s. Great picnic weather. Wind speeds are going to die down, so this is right about now,
And then as we head into tonight, these are wind gusts, by the way, moving into the early morning hours, and the teens, wind gusts, and then in the single digits by the time we reach 1 o'clock, and even, later in the evening. Dublin, you guys are in the clear. Once again, Americus, Unadilla, Cochrane, all good. Pulaski County, you guys are even in the clear. So now would be a good time if there is any damage in Pulaski County. You can kind of walk outside and look at it, take pictures, so we can learn if there was an actual tornado on the ground. And if there was, I can report it to National Weather Service, and what they'll do is they'll come out midweek next week or sometime this weekend, and they'll come out and survey the damage and rate it. EF 0, 1, 2. I don't think it would be anything over a 1 or a 2. It would more than likely even be a 0. EF0 tornado on the scale. So a very weak tornado, or it could not have been a tornado at all. There might not have been anything on the ground. It might have just been some rotation up in the atmosphere. So that's why those pictures are important. And if you do take pictures, make sure you write up where exactly, if you can, and either send it to the Weather Network group or let 13 know. You can message me or someone on Facebook or someone here at 13. Just get in contact with us and we will let the National Weather Service know. But yeah, Pulaski County, you guys are in the clear. You probably got a couple of showers out there, but nothing, just some light rain, no real thunder out there. Southern Lawrence County, you guys are seeing a good bit of rain and lightning. We're looking at the velocity now. Still not seeing any rotation. Good news, good news. If we can keep it up like this, we'll be good. We'll be great. But yeah, still seeing some rain and lightning move in from the north and west, south and eastward, coming through Dodge County, Lawrence County, entering Wheeler County, Telfair County, and Wilcox County. Not seeing any hail, not seeing any rotation like we were earlier. So far, all good to go. Checking for any debris signatures. Still not seeing anything. Seeing a little yellow down there, just south of our viewing area. Closer to Fitzgerald. Some potential rotation out there. If any of our viewers get 13 out there, you guys should definitely be weather aware. That's down there in Ben Hill, Irwin, and Turner County. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect till 3:15. As far as Wilcox County, Telfair County and Dodge County, you guys are still in the good. Nothing concerning, not seeing any rotation, still not seeing any hail. There is lightning out there, so you don't want to be outside. But other than that, if you're indoors, you are in a great spot. And this severe thunderstorm warning expires at 3:15, which is about 40 minutes from now. Alrighty, so there isn't any major concerns at the moment. One more time, there isn't any hail, there isn't any tornadoes, just some heavy rain and a lot of lightning. So I think I am going to hand this off over to Taylor. She just entered the building and she's going to be with you guys tonight. If you could just give her one moment. But right now it doesn't seem to be any type of severe situation going on across central Georgia, just heavy rain and a good bit of lightning.
Good afternoon, you guys. Meteorologist Taylor Stephenson here. We're tracking a severe thunderstorm warning that is for Dodge, Lawrence, Telfair, and Wheeler counties until 3:15, so a pretty long warning. But I'm assuming the Weather Service is just trying to get this warning out of the way. All along that severe thunderstorm watch we have in effect for this afternoon into parts of the evening. I'm getting myself together again in that level 2 out of 5 risk. I'm going to open up the chat to see if there's any type of questions you might have about what's going on today. Let's see. Okay. Hi, everybody. What does it look like before? Good afternoon, everybody. This is meteorologist Taylor Stephenson switching gears with Jordan. I'm just looking at your live comments right now on Facebook. So if you have any questions, please make sure that you drop them in the chat. Okay, cool. Watching from Mylan. Hello. Sound is on now, so yeah, if you can't hear me, you may want to turn up your volume on your computer or your phone because the sound is working for us here. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning again in effect for Dodge, Lawrence, Telfair, Wheeler. They do have the tornado possible tag, just meaning that they could see some rotation going on in any of these cells that we have moving out of the area now along a cold front. We still do have some lingering showers and storms as you head into parts of Washington County, into Tennille. Just south of Sandersville, Harrison, Wadley, you're up next for this shower and storm, but the main system, the main one that's for a lot of our southeastern counties is this severe thunderstorm warning, packing a little bit of a punch, heavy rain, all about that. What about Eatonton? Eatonton, you are good for today. Once this cold front moves through your area, you should see sunshine. It's sunny in Macon, sunny in places north of Macon. And again, fast moving cold front compared to what we had last weekend, where a lot of the stuff that we saw was just going over the same area because of our stalled front. So the reason why this is moving so fast is a cold front. It's just going to get out of the way, and once it does that, you should see some sunshine. So I think that everybody should see at least a little peak of sunshine this afternoon as we go through the day. But again, there is a tornado possible tag, so we'll look at some of the reflectivity and the the base winds and all the velocities, and it's trying its best to rotate very broadly. Not seeing anything that's really sparking my mind in terms of, a direct tornado threat or any significant rotation. Just broadly, the whole thing, anywhere down into Fitzgerald, just east of Ashburn, still also broadly rotating. This warning is out of our area, so no need for that for central Georgia, 13 WMAZ viewing area. But again, I know a lot of people are heading to spring break right now. So just be careful as you're heading out and about closer to the coast, as these storms will be moving that way towards Savannah and parts of North Florida. But again, this severe thunderstorm warning going until 3:15 for Dodge, Lawrence, Telfair, Wheeler. Some of the heaviest rain is going to be on that back side of the storm. So anywhere on this part, just south and west of Milan, but Milan's still getting some lightning strikes, new lightning strike just there as you head into Wheeler County, near Alamo. And this severe thunderstorm warning goes all the way into parts of Wilcox as well, but I'm sure they're going to start shaving this off because this is the main stuff they're looking at for not only gusty winds, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, but possibly the chance for a little bit of rotation. We'll see if we have any hail, some very small hail as you head just near Rhine. Down Highway 117 and south of Highway 280. But that's as much hail as I'm seeing right now. So about pea-sized hail within this severe thunderstorm. Again, all part of this bigger system that's bringing us a level 2 out of 5 risk for those places we are seeing that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, we can't rule out a tornado, but the possibility is low. Anything could rotate just because it could have enough energy in the middle of the day, but it's not like a very high risk, not like we saw last weekend with those medium risks. This is going to be a very, very, very low risk. Hail is going to be on the smaller side today, but the main threat is going to be for gusty, damaging winds. Will it get bad in Alamo? Yes, Laura. It's on the way to you guys right now in Alamo. And I'll show you again where this is. And I'll even give you a little track so you can kind of plan out your day. But this is Alamo. Alamo, you're about to get hit in the next, I would say, like 20, 30 seconds. So just make sure, Laura, that you're inside your house because this is packing a little bit of a punch with gusty winds and lightning. But again, the rotation is somewhat there, but it's broad, so that's why they're not really pulling the trigger. Gustier winds are going to be as you head just south of Rhine in this little area with the very bright reds. But you notice how the greens and the reds are next to each other, but not really in a rotating motion. It's trying to rotate. It's not doing the best job. But we'll just keep an eye on that for now. If you live in Eastman, I would still stay inside because there still is lightning in the area, but the heaviest rain has moved out. If you live in Dublin, you should start maybe seeing a little bit of parting skies. Again, we're still keeping an eye on this little storm here as you head into South Washington County, just south of Sandersville and Tennell. That's also bringing some lightning, heavy rain. Not seeing any rotation, so that's good. But still just keeping an eye on it. Not severe thunderstorm warned. This is the big one. Dodge, Lawrence, Telfair, Wheeler until 3:15. Let's see. I'm gonna see how fast this is moving so I can give you a good track. It's moving east at 45 miles an hour. So that's what I was saying. This cold front and these storms are gonna be moving super quickly. So these should be gone out of the viewing area. If not within 30 minutes, the next hour, I would be surprised if we have anything kind of lingering around after that. So again, most of us can kind of get on with our day for our Saturday. I'll take off this warning box so you can see where these storms are going. But most of us should be able to get on with our day, especially if you live in places southeast, in about an hour or so. Again, but wait until all lightning strikes and thunder is gone. Because lightning can strike away from a storm, even if you're not underneath that storm. So let's give you a good track on this little storm. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you guys can kind of see and give me enough space so I can, you know, show you what's going on. So it's moving at 45 miles an hour due east. Okay, so the places that we're gonna see this storms, rain, gusty winds, lightning, Mount Vernon around 2:15, so about 5 minutes from now. So make sure if you're in that area, just head inside as the storm passes. Lumber City 2:53, Vidalia 3:04, Lyons around 3:11. And then 3:17 from Ponderosa. So it goes further and further, and then we head out of our viewing area, and that's going to be more towards Savannah. And so you'll see, you know, Reedsville, Manassas, Claxton after around 3:30. But this is where the heaviest stuff is. Again, there is some heavy stuff just to the south of Abbeville, but that has exited our 13 WMAZ viewing area now. So no, for us, if you want to keep viewing that, I would definitely turn to those Albany stations that may have a little bit more insight because they'll be looking at it a little bit more in depth than we would. But again, that little severe thunderstorm warning again, for Dodge, Lawrence, Telfair, Wheeler within our viewing area until 3:15. Again, tornado is possible. Tag is there just in case the National Weather Service sees any type of rotation that might trigger a tornado warning. But for right now, they're keeping it a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, like I was saying earlier, places like Eastman, Abbeville, you probably started to get cut off from this severe thunderstorm warning because all the heaviest stuff is moving out of your area, but still stay inside as you see lightning strikes are still in the area. Let's see. And you hear that beeping, that's just them chopping the warning box. So it's not a new warning, it's just a continuation of the warning, dropping some of those counties out. What about Rochelle? Give me 1 second and I will answer your question, Jessica. Still keeping that tornado possible tag on that warning that just got chopped into that smaller box. So let me erase all of this. So for Rochelle, you're seeing a little bit of light rain, but again, you're not inside any of these warnings. So you're not going to be within these warnings at all, but still stay inside for just a little bit as it passes. Again, as you see those lightning strikes in the area, but the heaviest rain is to your south. So once we get this out of our way, you should start seeing some parting skies, and maybe hopefully before the sun sets, a little bit of sunshine. I know that's what we've been hoping for most. But again, this is not the same situation as we had last weekend. It's not going to be your day's worth of severe thunderstorm warnings. This is a very fast-moving cold front and a weakening cold front at that. And so you're not going to get all these warnings days and days and days. This should be out of our area no later than 3:30, 3:45. So only about an hour for everybody else. Again, if you live in Macon, Warner Robins, Bon Air, Roberta, Forsyth, Gray, Milledgeville, Irvington, Jeffersonville, you're seeing sunshine. So your severe threat is over for today. It's only going to be along this cold front with the storms we're seeing now for that severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to go back in there and see if I see any type of rotation because it does still have that tornado possible tag on there. again, broadly rotating, not saying anything significant. It's trying to get its act together, but it's not doing a very good job, which is good news for us. But again, that's probably why they're keeping this tag on here, is just to make sure that in case something pops off and something tries to get its act together, they have the advanced warning on that. Weather Service says monitoring the satellite observations for development over the next 60 to 90 minutes behind this wave will be crucial for determining redevelopment possibilities behind the southern wave of storms. So what they're saying is basically that this should move out of our hair, but what they're also keeping an eye out for, this main line should be out of our hair, you know, within the next hour or so. But what they're looking for is to see if this cold front is going to spark some type of storms behind these storms, and they're keeping an eye out for that. But right now what they're saying is this main line of storms we're seeing, Dodge, Telfair, Lawrence, Wheeler, should be out of our hair in the next 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, but not too long. I'm going back to the chat so I can see if anybody is saying anything. Is this the only storm we're gonna have? Yeah, that's a good question, Jessica. Like I was just saying, this is gonna be probably the main storms, but what the Weather Service was talking about, and I'll switch over to a satellite view so you can get more of a bigger picture of what's going on. They're trying to see if anything behind these storms if anything will redevelop. Right now, I'm not seeing anything redeveloping behind this main line of storms. And I'm gonna go, to what we call the Weather Prediction Center online. And that's one of my favorite tools to use to see where the cold front is. And the front is right there along those storms right now. So this cold front is gonna be right here, like right along this storm. So basically the boundary. That's why we're seeing sunshine as you head Macon and north, and all the storms down here. But what they're saying is it's possible that we could see possibly some redevelopment behind this line, but the main stuff of right now is going to be in our southeastern counties, and that should be moving quickly. Again, it's moving about 45 miles an hour. I'll check again to see if they updated it for the current thunderstorm box. Let's see. Yeah, it's still 45 miles an hour. So again, you know, this is moving very, very quickly. We've also seen some local storm reports in Crisp County, tree down on Cannon Road near Mile Pond Road. So be careful if you're driving in that area. Let's see. Maybe a few limbs down there too. But again, if you have any storm reports, please send them to the Weather Service first so that they can figure out what's going on with them and going on in our area so they can give that information to everybody else, but also send it to us so we can see if there's any damage in your area as well. Again, tornado possible tag still on this. Just broadly rotating in many areas. I mean, nothing really sticking out to me. When you have reds and greens next to each other, you try to keep an eye out for it, but usually it's gonna be tighter than this for them to trigger a warning. But as you see, little blips in the thunderstorm warning with the greens and the reds right next to each other. Again, I want you guys to be careful if you live in this area and if you're heading towards the beach, because I know a lot of spring breakers are out now trying to head towards Florida, the Georgia coast, all of that. So just be careful, because while this threat may be loosening up for us, it's still going to be in effect for places like Savannah. Again, we do have... I'm sorry, I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. Here we go. So we do have the future view showing you that. I do wanna see what time that severe thunderstorm watch goes until, so I can give you the most updated information. because I know that we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Until 8 o'clock. So I'm going to put that on here. Severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock for our area. But again, like with that being said, that like we usually see a lot of times, that they'll probably start to chop things off. So I'll show you that severe thunderstorm watch that we have in effect again till 8 p.m. for Johnson, Lawrence, Trutland, Montgomery, Wheeler, Tailfair, Dodge, Bleckley, Pulaski, Dooley, Wilcox, and Crisp. Again, until 8 p.m. And that's really where we're seeing that huge severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect, bringing those gusty winds, a little bit of pea-sized hail, and some broad rotation. So that's until 8 p.m. But again, like we've seen other times before, they'll start to you know, narrowly and like slowly chop some counties off of this severe thunderstorm watch, so that once your area is kind of out of the severe thunderstorm watch, you should be good. So here's what FutureView is saying, picking up on those, but not really in the cluster that it is. By 4 p.m., 5 p.m., there goes our those goes our storms. They're out towards the coast. And then we should be good for the rest of the night. It's still gonna be a very warm night. Temperatures in the 70s as you head throughout the night through Sunday morning. As you're heading to church, upper 50s, still warm. And then we'll be right back into the mid 70s tomorrow afternoon and evening. So a beautiful day, partly cloudy skies. Definitely got to enjoy it. Monday, we bring back a little bit more humidity. Temperature, we're still in the 50s in the morning. And then sprinkle chances before we get a wave of energy on Monday. So that's something to keep an eye out for Monday afternoon. I will see what's going on there. Okay, so for right now, this looks like just some rain. We don't have a severe thunderstorm outlook for that as of right now. So that's good news, but I'm sure this could be updated just like ours was updated for today, from a level 1 to level 2. So that is what's going on. Okay. So again, severe thunderstorm warning until 3:15. So we still have about 20 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning. And as the storm starts to move out of the area, more and more counties will start to get clipped out of this. We'll see any rotations going on. Again, broad rotation within everything. Not really seeing, again, anything that's really catching my eye per se. It's trying its hardest. It's not doing very well. But again, severe thunderstorm warning until 3:15. Tornado possible tag still on there. So please be inside if you live in Alamo, McRae, Milan. You just got out of this. But what I will say about Milan, I would still stay inside because since you're right next to the storm, it's still lightning near you. But you're out of the heaviest rain now. Jacksonville, you're in some moderate to heavy rain. Lumber City, you're up next for that moderate to heavy rain. And then Uvalde, you're also coming next for this heavy rain. Now again, Montgomery County is not in this, neither is Trutland. This is Dodge, Lawrence, Telfair, Wheeler. A little bit of pea-sized hail as you head into parts of Telfair County. Again, if you have any storm reports, first of all, let the storm pass. We do not want you to go out into the storm. But if you find any hail after the storm passes, you want to send it to us, we would absolutely take any type of storm reports. We will also recommend you send them to the National Weather Service, Atlanta. You can do that through email. They do really well on Twitter, so you can send a picture of them and just tag them on Twitter and they'll see it pretty quickly. And it just helps them to verify these storms and then also kind of alert people downstream of these storms what's going on. Again, what the Weather Service said, if you're just now, if you're still listening or you're hopping on in and out, that's cool too. What the Weather Service said earlier, is that they're monitoring for redevelopment behind this wave to see what's going on in the southern wave of storms. And just like I was saying, that they're going to start cutting people out. It's now only for Telfair and Wheeler counties until 3:15, but still keeping that tornado possible tag on there just in case any rotation tries to get its act together. But again, still till 3:15, but only for Telfair and Wheeler counties now. Lawrence and Dodge, Wilcox, you are out of this severe thunderstorm warning. But again, like I was saying, in places like Milan, if you live in South Lawrence County and southeastern Dodge County, just make sure you stay inside until that lightning and thunder passes. But the heaviest rain is out of your area. That beep you hear is only just showing us that they clipped that warning just for Telfair and Wheeler. Newest scan shows you starting to head into Lumber City. Let's see how fast this storm is moving. .45 miles an hour to the east still. And again, what they're seeing is 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail. So that's our biggest concern. I will put a little track on this so you can see where this is going. So this is the heaviest stuff right here, and it's going 45 miles an hour directly east. So Lumber City, this should be on your doorstep at around 3:05. Oak Grove, 3:12. Hazelhurst, 3:15. Toombs Central, 3:27. Spring Branch, 3:36. Reedsville, around 3:44. Manassas, 3:51. And Hagen, around 3:58. So again, fast-moving storms. What we're gonna see and see what happens. Again, this severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 8 p.m. But what we're gonna watch for is any type of storms kind of trying to trail behind it. For right now, we're not seeing that, which again is good news. But it is a possibility that some storms could fire off behind this. But the main stuff is quickly moving out of our area. Again, if you're just hopping on, you're still watching, of course, you can drop questions. I'll answer them. I can see your chats in the Facebook group. So a bigger picture is this cold front that is currently sweeping right through central Georgia. It's going to be along that line of storms that we have right now, producing now 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in Georgia. But thankfully, no tornado warnings here yet. We are still in that level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. But the Storms Prediction Center will most likely update this soon, dropping a lot of our counties because it seems like that cold front, once it moves out, we should see some sunshine for a lot of places. Like I was out in Macon earlier, and it was sunny. So that's the good news about this, is that it's so fast moving that your whole Saturday is not thrown in the trash. You can still enjoy parts of it. So through the day to day, expect temperatures to still rise into the low 80s for places that aren't seeing rain right now. Rain should be out of our hair by about 5 to 6 p.m. for sure, and then we'll have a calm night, but very, very warm temperatures staying in the mid 60s to low 70s. Starting tomorrow morning, we should get some more sunshine. Starting temperatures will be in the upper 40s, low 50s. By noon, temperatures will be into the mid 60s, and then we'll have another beautiful day, lots of sunshine, you know, some partly cloudy skies as you head south and west, but still temperatures in the mid 70s. And then we'll have another beautiful night, low to mid 60s for Sunday night. Then we start to enter another wet pattern as you begin the work week. Cloudy skies from the morning, temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, and then rain chances roll in Monday afternoon. Right now, according to the Storm Prediction Center, we are not in an outlook for severe weather, but that is a possibility. We're not going to rule it out until they really give us a say so. Rain will be moving through the afternoon and should clear for us by Monday evening. Again, we do have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect. And I will pull that graphic up. Severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. for Johnson, Trutland, Lawrence, Wheeler, Montgomery, Telfair, Dodge, Buckley, Pulaski, Wilcox, Dooley, and Crisp. And then south and east of our area. But again, everybody else who's just in that kind of earthy color, they're not in the severe thunderstorm watch, is until 8 p.m. Again, like I've been saying earlier and like we've seen in the past, once they think the severe threat is over for certain counties, they'll start releasing counties from this severe thunderstorm watch regardless of what time it ends. Jessica asks, will it clear up by 4? It should be trying to get out of our way by 4. We're gonna give it to about 5, but still maybe an hour and a half until we should be okay. But again, Weather Service is still monitoring for the possibility of redevelopment behind this main line of storms. So that's what we're looking for. See if I see any rotation. Again, broadly rotating where you see the reds and greens right next to each other, but nothing too significant. That's what I'm talking about right here, just north and east of Jacksonville. Then as you head into near McRae, Helena, right here on that border of Telfair and Wheeler counties. But not really seeing anything that's like strikingly, that's gonna, that I feel like would spark a warning, just a little bit of rotation, again, just with the energy of the day. 3:15 for this warning still. Again, for Telfair and Wheeler, tornado is still possible. No updates from the Weather Service. Besides what I said. Okay, so again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until for Telfair and Wheeler counties till 3:15. Not even seeing any hail anymore on these recent scans. Velocity, the winds, they show that it's broadly rotating. What we're really looking for is just gusty winds, heavy downpours, maybe some penny-sized hail. Again, the strongest stuff is now to the east of Milan, and they just cut this severe thunderstorm warning down even more, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, they cut it down just a little bit, so it's only for parts of Jacksonville now, but still with that tag, tornado possible. Again, in other places, I will show you, let's see if I can pull up a sky cam to show you what it's looking like in other places around the area. So here's Macon. Beautiful. I mean, blue skies, thin high clouds, but you're still having those you still have a few winds, a little breezy. Winds up to 11 miles an hour sustained. We could see some wind gusts higher than that. Here is the current wind gust around the area. Macon wind gusts up to 22 miles an hour, Thomaston up to 29 miles an hour, and these are non-thunderstorm wind gusts. These are just gusts coming behind this cold front, and you can really see where that cold front is on this map. It's very distinct where winds really converge. So right around this area is where this cold front is. And again, that's where we're starting to see that the spark in the severe thunderstorms right here. But these are non-thunderstorm winds. So sustained winds around 30 miles an hour, up to 30 miles an hour across the area. Gusts up to 30 miles an hour around the area. Sustained winds around, I would say 5 to 15. So Yes, a pretty breezy day, but still beautiful. So that was Macon. Let's see what we're doing in Perry. Breezy, beautiful, blue sky, 74 degrees as you head into Perry. And our last place is going to be Dublin. A little bit more overcast, but you're starting to see little peaks in blue skies. Still very warm though, 75 degrees as you head into Dublin. Again, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and that's until 3:15 for a severe thunderstorm warning affecting Telfair and Wheeler counties, and a tornado possible tag. Gusty winds, maybe some baby hail. Yeah, you see a little bit of penny pea-sized hail as you head just east of Highway 149, north of Highway 117. So they're in Telfair County, so extreme eastern Telfair County is where we're seeing that hail. That's where the severe thunderstorm is. And again, until 3:15. Any rotation, not doing a very good job, like I was saying earlier. And that's why they keep the tornado possible tag on there, just to make sure, in case, just give a little bit of a heads up that they are seeing rotation. Yes, Laura, so there is still a little bit of rotation, but again, it's not gonna be your strong indication that a tornado is forming. This is more of like, the storm is getting the energy of the day. It's trying its best to get a little bit of spin on it, but it's not doing great. So wherever you see those little greens and reds kind of sticking next to each other, it's just broad rotation, but nothing that's too concerning to either me or the National Weather Service. So they're just talking about other stuff that happened in North Georgia earlier. Still, again, that tornado possible tag on that system. Again, Telfair, Wheeler, you are in this. And I will put a little track on it. It's still moving at 45 miles an hour. So still moving very, very fast. That's why I was saying, like, once we get this out of our hair, it's gonna move quickly, first of all. But second of all, it's gonna roll through, and we should be okay. So 45 miles an hour due east. So Hazelhurst, you're next at 3:16. Uvalde at 3:21. Toombs Central 3:33. Baxley 3:39. McTier at 3:46, Reedsville at 3:51, Belleville at 4:02, and then Claxton after 4 o'clock. And this is going to be those severe thunderstorm warnings all within that severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. And again, like I was saying earlier, we could see some of these counties starting to get slowly drops from the severe thunderstorm watch. And we still are in a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather today. For gusty winds, tornadoes are very, very low. Hail is going to be on the smaller side today, the main threat being those gusty or damaging winds. Again, even if you aren't in that severe thunderstorm warning, you still are seeing gusty winds. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour, sustained winds anywhere from 5 to 20, 21 miles an hour. So just make sure if you're out and about, make sure everything's secure. Also, make sure you don't have your trash out. You don't want it tipping over. Be careful on the roads, because not only is there a lot of traffic because of spring break travel, but also because of those winds that could make it a little bit harder to steer sometimes once those winds get underneath your car. But these are all non-thunderstorm winds. The storms that we are seeing right now is all along what was a strong cold front when it moved through parts of the Midwest and Mid-South yesterday, is now a weakening front in our area. Again, sparking that severe thunderstorm warning we have now just south of I-16. The storm is moving out as we speak. But again, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect until, well, it was supposed to be until 30 seconds from now, but the Weather Service has dropped it. So I will wait until this graphic updates with the most updated information to show you. Good question. Laura has a very good question. Will the rain be out by 3:15 of the warning area? Not necessarily, no. You'll still see some heavy rain, but they believe the gustiest winds, which now look like they're going to be to our south right here, near Denton, Ambrose, West Green. That's going to be what stuff they're going to be looking at next. But the viewing area for NWS Atlanta is just outside of our area, so Toombs County is in their region, but Hazelhurst and Douglas are not. So that would be transferred to another NWS office, not ours. So again, the warnings across Central Georgia have now been canceled. We will watch and see if anything redevelops behind this line, which the Weather Service says is possible. But for mostly everybody, you should be seeing some good sunshine. So definitely go out and enjoy the day. If the storms are not in your area, I'll be live again if we have any more severe thunderstorm warnings. And if anything else happens, we'll let you know on the stream or online on social media. But for right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings in our area for Central Georgia. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. We'll have more information on the weather for the rest of the week tonight for our late night show. Again, we'll see you then. But again, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.